Mark Kadari. He recently completed his Competent Communicator Manual, so he has a CC. And he's now speaking out of the Public Relations Manual. He's giving speech number 1, which is a goodwill speech, and his speech is titled, The Litany of Fear. Mark Kadari, The Litany of Fear.
You know, walking up here right now, I could be honest with you, got a little trepidation, voice is kind of trembling a little bit, but that's okay because we all suffer from it, especially the new folks, right? We've all been there. I'm new to this club. I have to stand up and talk in front of these people. Fear is something that we're all afflicted with. I spoke with one of our club members several weeks ago, and ironically, we're in the same college fraternity. And one of the things that we instantly bonded on was our experience and the intensity of that experience. One of the things that college fraternities sometimes experience or sometimes expose their members to is poetry. And they do that as a means to inspire and also to help you get through some of the difficult challenges through what's shared in those verses. So we bonded on a particular piece of poetry that I thought would be good to frame today's discussion. The title of this poetry is The Litany Against Fear. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it's gone past, I will turn my inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone through, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. One of my most vivid examples in my mind of fear growing up is attending my martial arts class when I was a teenager. Now, the universe brought myself and a couple of my buddies in church to our martial arts instructor in Brooklyn, New York. And in the mid-'80s in New York, it didn't matter where you lived, there was some element of crime or threat or violence, whether you left your house or whether you were coming back home. So this was something that was really good for us young men to learn how to defend ourselves. But one of the things I remember, because that martial arts instructor was very much like the Mr. Miyagi you saw in Karate Kid. He had his bamboo stick, and in addition to that, there were several other instructors that were there. They were all New York City police officers there to teach us self-defense. But what I remember the most, that every Wednesday afternoon after school, or Sunday, I had a choice to make. And I stood at that bus stop in Brooklyn, New York, saying to myself, why are you doing this? You don't have to do this. You know what's coming. The pain, the struggle. Just go home. But something inside of me said, no, you have to face that fear. And I did. And every time I did, I just made one step forward. One class, one next class. I knew inside that they cared about me. So I continued to push on. The outcome of that years later, like a lot of people, is that I've moved on into martial arts and black belt and other type of things. Fantastic. But for me, it's a vivid example, again, of things that we encounter in life, because there's always going to be some struggle there. And there's going to be something possibly painful attached to that. But how do we get past that? So, tonight's speech is the goodwill speech. I'm to inspire you to some sort of action. You all can imagine again, especially for the new people, how challenging it can be to come up here, especially when you have, and he's not even here tonight, Jim Sims, who is asking you during table topics, tell me about the Polish sheep herder in the 1800s. What would you do? Something like that. And how difficult that could be. But how do you get past that?
Wasn't he 16?
One of the things I will challenge you all going throughout this process of becoming a better speaker, a better Toastmaster, is to engage the process. Raise your hand and say, yes, I will answer that question, versus possibly not raising your hand. We all know the slow walk to come up here. If that's a way for you to help you cope, then by all means go ahead and do that. Embrace your fear.
Pass it on.